Hey everybody, it's Gypsy, and welcome to On the Edge of Appalachia. So, I told you guys I was trying to grow loofahs this year. And I told you my concern. I live in Northeast Ohio, Zone 6B, and so I was worried this would not work out. So I did pick my loofahs before they were dry. I would love for them to dry on the vine, but I don't see that ever happening because of our short growing season. Anyway, so I picked them, and I was worried they wouldn't work out. I just got done watching a video done by a man who lives in Ohio in 6B, and he picked his like this, and he showed how he did it. Now, so what he did was, I don't know if you can see on the table. Let me see. I hope so. He kind of rolled it like this, and you can feel the skin separating from the insides, from the sponge. See, and you could hear it, you could feel it. It's almost like a cracking. So I did that, and then I started on this one. I did that, and I tore it off. And, you know, it's green. It's going to be green if you live in a situation like mine where it's cold. But it's doable. Now, I'm not seeing any viable seeds in here, which is fine because mine probably cross-pollinated anyways. I just don't have the patience to save seeds because of the cross-pollination thing. I tried. I wanted to do it so bad, but I have so many other things I do that, you know, adding another thing on here. I wonder if I could get, oh, it is coming off. Yeah, once you roll it like that, even if it's green, the outside, the skin comes, you know, you don't need a knife. It just, with your fingers, comes right off. It's really cool. So anyways, as you can see, now this one, oh no, at the bottom, it still seems kind of cucumbery, if that's a word. But the top seems more like the sponge. Now, I don't know. This still might not work. What I have to do, which is going to be real hard, because these are very green and wet, I have to wash them. You have to really, really rinse these things. I would like for these to be more hollow. I really don't know if this one's going to work. Really don't. It's weird. Parts of it feel very fibrous. This end down here, I'm not so sure about. This feels very much like yeah, like a cucumber. So, anyways, now this one seems a little bit more further along than that one. So I'm going to give this a try. Yeah, what I'm saying is this skin is just coming off much easier. I don't know if that one's going to work, the other one. Let me crack the end of this open. Well, this one, you could see a little bit more definition in its shape inside. This one is a bit further along. The skin is coming off even easier. Huh. Yeah, this is something. I wish I you know, if only maybe unit 7, if I was in zone 7, I'd have better luck with this. But, you know, it's already getting below freezing here already. And it just, unfortunately. I tried to lay them out in the garage. They're still not, they're not really drying in there either. So, I don't know. I think this one might be a little further along. Yeah, this one. Oh, this one's coming off much, much easier. And I can see more of a definition. Yeah, no mature seeds, no viable seeds. But this one's better. So I'm going to go to the garage, see if I have any that are even further along than this, and then we'll go inside and wash these off. I would do them outside, except it's cold out here. Okay, well, I found these two. I have a lot more in the garage, but these two, they just seem like they're changing color more. So, I don't know. I'm going to try the smaller one. Let's see what happens. I should have a jacket on. It's cold out here. Oh, wow. Yeah, you could. Let's see what this one's got going on. Oh, no. Okay. Oh, no, I was wrong. Look, that's just... No, that one's got to go. It has got to go. All right. So let's try this one. I don't know what's going to happen with this one. Oh. This feels spongy, but it's like, it doesn't have the, yeah, these ones are harder to peel. These, I thought these would be farther along, but they're not. Yeah, if they're hard to peel, they're not ready. Okay, so we're going to take the other two. Well, let me finish peeling this one. So I may not have very many sponges this year, but I did hear somebody say, one of the many videos I watched about loofahs, if you live in a cold zone, now the coldest zone these can grow in is 6A. Start them early indoors, give them a good head start. You know, like late winter, very early spring. And this will give them more time to grow. So, I am going to try that early in 2026, seeing if I can get better sponges. So let's go inside and see what happens. Okay, so I have these in the house. I put these in this mesh sieve to wash these out. I found one seed in here. Now they should be black when they're viable, but this one is brown, almost a dark brown. So these are close. I'll have to check the other ones I have in there, but so what we need to do is rinse these out, get all the goop out, which when they're this fresh is going to be hard, I think. So this could take a while. Oh yeah, wow. So I'm rinsing, I can see more and more of the fibers. I don't know if you guys can see this right in here. See how it's kind of like, you could see through there more, where here it looks more solid. So it is working. I think it's just harder when you live in a colder climate. If you live in 5 or below, I wouldn't even give this a try. It wouldn't work. Anyways, so. Yeah. Oh, wow. I don't know, I might get a few sponges this year. This is my first year. I always feel like every time I grow something new, it's a learning experience more than anything else. So it was especially true with the loofahs. So now I know these have to be stored indoors if you are in a cold climate. Probably if you're in zone 7 or 8, you could just do direct sow, which I think would be easier. I always find direct sow easier, but with this, oh yeah, it's working. It doesn't suit my climate, so I have to start these indoors. I'm just not sure when. That's what I have to find out. Yeah, but these are working. It's going to take a bit of patience. Now, I saw, research I did, most people were rinsing them whole like this. But this one guy who I just watched, he's in Ohio also. He cut his up in the sizes he wanted and then rinsed them. He said it's easier that way. So right now, I'm going to try this way. Oh, I see some dark spots, which would be the seeds. So yeah, if your seeds are totally black, yours are at the perfect point. In fact, if you can pick up your loofah before you open it and shake it and you hear rattling, it's ready. You know, it'd be easy for you to do this. Mine, I think some of mine made it to the point where I can use them as sponges. The other ones, well, they're more like cucumbers, so they're not going to do what I want. So yeah, this is working, and I could see the dark seeds as I'm rinsing. Let me show you. I don't know if you guys can see. There's a lot of seeds in there. So, wow, it's already like sponge. Isn't that cool? So I'm going to put you on hold a minute, see what my dog's barking about. And I'm going to cut one of these in half and see if that's easier. Okay, so I'm going to just take the kitchen scissors and cut it in half and see what that... I have no idea how big I want my sponges. Anybody has any advice on what's the ideal size for a loofah sponge, please let me know in the comments below. Oh, they cut real easy. Oh, look at that. Get all those seeds. This one was so close. Yeah, these are brown, but not black. I heard the seeds should be black. Okay. Let me see if this is easier to rinse. Oh yeah, the seeds are coming out easier. So I assume when I can see all the individual fibers is when it's ready. Anybody else have a great Pyrenees who likes to throw his food dish around? That's what you're hearing in the background. I don't know why that breed likes to do that. Mr. Serious, what are you doing? You trying to tell me you have food in there? He's such a silly boy. All right, some of these I would like to do. It all depends on how much I have too. I thought you just cut them up like, I don't know, maybe about an inch long. I'd like to do something like that. I saw this one woman. She cut hers down the side, and then she kind of flattened them out, and then folded them and stitched them together to make a square, just for like a simple square sponge. And then she took one, and before she stitched it closed, she put like a nice bar of natural soap in there and stitched the soap within it. So I would like to try those, because I just love taking a shower with nice natural soap. My daughter-in-law just brought me a nice bar of lavender soap from Provence. Oh, man, does it smell good. It's so good. Okay, so yeah, cutting them does help. I think I might, well, oh wow, the end is opening up. Yeah, I don't know. Can you guys, if you can see that, you can see the different, like, cells, compartments at the end here as I'm washing it. This is pretty cool. It's interesting. I've never done this before. First time. I'm definitely not a professional loofah sponge maker. So this is my first. Anybody who is professional, please, advice, please. So anyways, I'm going to continue on with this, and I'll get back to you guys. I'm going to see if I have any more that I can make into sponges. Okay, so I found something interesting. So this is the first one that I cleaned. This one had all dark seeds in it, which means it was more mature. And then the second one that I did was not mature, and it had these white seeds in them. So it was goopier. As you could see, there's goop in my sieve here, and this is the seeds from the more mature one, which I am thinking, even though I said they're probably cross-pollinated, I might take a couple of them and just do like a propagation test. Not propagation, germination test to see if, well, what happens. I just do it with a couple of them. So, the less mature one had the white seeds. And it was almost the same size, not quite. The weird thing is, I thought, well, I don't know if it's going to work because it just wasn't mature. But it looks really the same. It looks the same. And I found this easier to wash and get the seeds out than the more mature one. I'm not sure why. It didn't seem like it should be that way. So you know that one that I was doing outside that I said it was very immature and goopy? I'm going to rinse that just to see what happens. Is it useful or what? So we'll see. Okay, I found another regular size one I'm going to wash out. I found this smaller one. Oops. And it's very, very goopy. I don't know how this is going to be, but I thought I'm going to wash it out just to see what's in there. Because unlike the other small ones, this one held together. So obviously it's at a different point of maturity. So I thought I would just see, what's going on with this. I think the rest are way too small, and I'm just going to put those in compost. So let's see if we can, this little one here, what can I do with my glasses? These are amazing. Okay, so this is a little one. It was the only little one that stayed together. Now, both ends did come off, but the middle part stayed, so maybe there's some hope. I don't know. I think I'm going to cut this one in half too. No, I don't think so. I think it's just disintegrating. I'm going to give it a little bit more of a chance. It looks like the fibers were just beginning to form, which is probably why the middle section stayed together, but I don't know. It doesn't look like there's enough there to really use as a sponge. Let me see how much I could get off so I could show you. Yeah, it's a very, very fine, very light. I don't think it would have, a lot of wear to it. I've heard that the Loofah sponges, they'll last a few years, like up to 5 years. But this one, it was just starting to get its fiber. So close. I don't know. But it's like, you could see little fibers forming in there. Very hard to get the goopy stuff out. So I'm going to finish up this last good one, and I'll show you what I'm going to do next. Okay, so I had a total of 3 loofahs that were mature enough to be used as sponges. So I got them all rinsed and everything. And as you can see, as they're drying, they kind of change color and texture looking. These are still very wet. So what I'm doing is I'm wringing them out more. And then I am stringing them on here. Now this is 100% cotton crochet. We used to call it kitchen cotton in my day. I forgot what they call it now. But that's what I have this strung on. I'm going to hang it up in my studio to dry. I'm not sure how long that will take. I'm going to assume about a couple weeks. So you want them completely dry. And then I'll move on to the next step, which is however I want to do my sponges. So here's what I've learned. My first year, growing sponges, I learned a couple things. First of all, plant them very early. So for me, direct sow doesn't work. I have to start them early in the house. And then like transfer them to my little greenhouse, and I'll put them out in the garden. This way they'll have a head start growing and then getting to that drying point. Because what I've seen when I watched people who live in a warm climate make their sponges, they let the loofahs dry on the vine. And then when they're totally dry, they take them off, and it's like very brittle, the skin. And they just like hit them against a table or something, and then it just falls right off. And you have a perfectly dry sponge inside that skin. And then they just kind of tap that until all the seeds are out. Kind of sounds like a rattle. It's really cool. But for those of us who live in a cold climate, we have to do it this way, which is a bit more difficult, but not as difficult as I thought it was going to be. So I've learned I'm going to plant them, start them indoors earlier. And then also make sure they're well trellised and not being overtaken by the pumpkins. My pumpkins grew so fast and spread all over the place this year. I thought I wasn't going to have any loofahs at all. I really did. But I got 3. So that's not bad. So anyways, I'm going to let these dry, and then I'll decide how I want to make them into sponges after they're dry. So I'm going to leave you with that. Blessed be, and make it a joyful one.